some people say to find inspiration, you have to go search for it.
Right.
And other people say, no, you have to wait for it to just arrive. What do you think about that?
Inspiration.
Yeah.
Well, instinctively at this point, yeah, I think it's something really happens. And yes, but it is not simply wait for it. In a sense, it is wait for it. But if there is my part of effort, if there is something like that, it is something not really you go to a goal kind of effort, but something very much karmic accumulation or something like that. So inspiration, in some way, you can make your own effort to get this moment of inspiration. So in that sense, it is something that happens, but at the same time, that doesn't necessarily mean that I can just wait for a certain thing to happen. In some way, you should look for something, and then it will happen. So in a way, it's a kind of really chiasmic moment.
Oh, so what about for yourself? Do you look for inspiration, or do you just kind of wait for it to happen?
I don't know anywhere.
In your own
is it always? No, I think I look for it. But the thing is, that this inspiration is not something that can happen simply because I look for it. There should be a kind of a mutual correspondence between me and something beyond me, and that is the definition of inspiration, right? So it is simply that not just mine, but a kind of communication with something beyond me. I'm a fiction writer, not only as a philosopher scholar. So especially when I write do the creative writing, I really think that there should be a kind of moment when I get this kind of inspiration. That can happen when I sit on the computer, or that can happen anywhere, anytime. And I found that if I miss this moment, it's very difficult, almost impossible to do the writing. I could sit down in a computer for an hour and write nothing. But if there's a moment for inspiration, I can easily write a short story in 10 to 15 minutes, just to do things that will come out. And I think in the case of creative writing, this is very important. But this also applies to my academic writing as well. I mean, after the certain period, obviously you need to do some kind of research and all the other things for academic writing. But in an ultimate level, it is also a kind of inspiration. The moment that I've been thinking and thinking and thinking about certain topic, and eventually there's a moment which suddenly makes sense of everything I read. And I think that is a kind of there is a moment that I make a kind of communication with whatever is out there. And I think to be a writer or to be a scholar as well, I think it's very important to be humble, so then I can kind of create this kind of moment, or moment of the inspiration takes place.